Now, earlier, in response to a question concerning the death of Samuel Dokie and his family, you stated categorically that Mr. Taylor had nothing to do with Mr. Dokie's death. Yet, those who were implicated, Mr. Benjamin Yeney, for example, who went to the police station in Banga and took them away, and others, nothing happened to them. How can you explain that?
Well, I think the first thing is that you are misinformed. Benjamin Yeney never went to Banga to get Samuel Dokie. And that was the mistake that he made, and that's why he was reprimanded and I think investigated, because he, instead of carrying out the orders as it was given to him to go and get his brother, he sent someone else to go and get, after the president had told him, go yourself and bring your brother. He came back after the president left the country to Morocco. We're on our way to Morocco and Libya and Tripoli. And he instead of that, he was a little bit free that the president had left the country. And so maybe he sent a trusted aide or somebody to go and do that. That's where the misunderstanding came from. So I think he was reprimanded some way or the other for that, but I don't remember what actions were taken. I didn't follow it after that, but I know some people were arrested. I don't remember what happened, but the records should be there somewhere. And I think the international community at a certain time had asked President Taylor to account for that, and I think he gave some explanation in a written document to some international body that requested. I don't remember exactly, but I think something like that transpired, and I think he gave some information of that nature, but I don't actually remember.
But the records in that case show that the police commander in Bong County at the time, Mr. NSB, I think he's dead now, but he's on record as saying that Mr. Yeney did go to the police station demanding they turn over to him of Mr. Dokie. And then, why did Mr. Taylor send Yeney to get his brother? Or to get Mr. Dokie, so to speak?
Because, are you through?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I told you exactly what President Taylor at the time, President Taylor said in the plane when we're taking off. He said, Benjamin, and I quote directly, you know that they have arrested Sam in Banga, he's at the police station. Benjamin said, yes, I heard that this morning. He said, now you will go and bring your brother. You go to Banga yourself. And I remember him saying, yourself. Go to Banga and get Sam, because anything happened to Sam, the people will say that I did it because Sam broke away from us. And you know that Sam, and Samuel Dokie was supposed to have been, I think some people can help me out. Taylor was about to appoint Samuel Dokie as a minister of government. That was his, I mean, he never had anything personal against Dokie. In fact, he liked Dokie to the dislike of many of us. Because we knew other things that had happened, but there's no need. I mean, this is not the forum for that. But there are other things that made us, some of us, dislike Samuel. I did not dislike Sam for any reason. Sam is my foster brother. I want you to know that. Sam is closer to me than he was even to Taylor, because he's my foster brother. He was reared by my father in Yekepa Nimba when my father was in charge of VTC. Sam attended VTC, so I was close to him, and I didn't dislike him because of who he was, but because of certain basic things that I didn't think I wanted to disclose. It was personal. But Taylor liked him to the dislike of most of his countrymen too. So, and there was no rivalry. It was no obstacle to Taylor to say, Taylor would say, oh, go eliminate that man, or go get rid of that man. It is the same nature of the overzealous attitude of individual who felt that when Dokie came to Monrovia, even Wowo and thing, you'll notice that Wowo was shot at in Mount Barclay sometime when he was Minister of Defense. They shot up his jeep and everything. He had to jump in the bush because some of the overzealous fighters felt that they betrayed the revolution by coming to Monrovia and abandoning and making that pronouncement that they abandoned the NPFL after they had led them throughout fighting and killing themselves and whatnot. They felt angry that the leaders, these main people who've been keeping us in the bush here for days fighting for them and whatnot, all of a sudden they go to Monrovia, they have abandoned us and whatnot. So many people disliked that and made some very negative comments. So that's why we were concerned, and I was concerned about the presence of Dokie in Banga without mercy, without somebody being there to try to make sure that it was done. But it was a very disappointing. And I remember when we arrived from the last leg of that trip was Morocco. When we arrived at the airport with all the guards and thing of honor guard, that I don't remember that President Taylor did not take the guard of honor that day. He said, as soon as I get down, I'm going straight, and he just passed by. You thank him to speak to him. He didn't speak to him. He just moved his head forward and got straight into his car and left the airport on that day. So that was a demonstration of his anger over that particular issue, because he was not himself from the time he got the message that night in Tripoli. He was very angry and had called all the security units in Liberia telling them to be alert and this and that and that and that. But that's what happened with the Dokie issue, and it is unfortunate.